Gi-Hun is a middle-aged man living with his mother in Seoul. Gi-Hun is divorced but often visits his daughter Ga-Yeong. Today is Ga-Yeong's birthday, so Gi-Hun's mother gives him money to get her a nice present. Gi-Hun is an avid gambler, so he takes the money and withdraws some from his mother's bank account to place bets on a horse. He lucks out a few times but manages to place a good bet and win largely. He tips the cashier and calls Ga-Yeong, promising an expensive dinner and many presents later. Unfortunately, Gi-Hun is cornered by a loan shark and his goons. He rushes back inside and crashes into a young girl. He profusely apologizes and flees, but the goons catch up with him in the bathroom. Gi-Hun apologizes for running away and wants to give the loan shark the money he just won, but he finds it missing. He realizes the girl he had stumbled upon was a pickpocket and had stolen his money. The loan shark hits Gi-Hun on the nose, laughing when he starts bleeding and begging for his life. He makes Gi-Hun sign a physical rights waiver, allowing him to take his organs if he doesn't clear his debt in a month. Gi-Hun asks the cashier to give him back his money. Since he cannot afford a gift, he wins a gift box in a claw machine. He meets with Ga-Yeong and takes her to a cheap restaurant. Ga-Yeong explains that her stepdad had taken her to a steakhouse but quickly says she likes the food here better to lift Gi-Hun's spirits. Ga-Yeong opens the gift box, disappointed to find a toy gun inside. Gi-Hun apologizes and promises to give her a better gift the following birthday. He takes Ga-Yeong home and gets a scolding from his ex-wife as he is 10 minutes late. Gi-Hun misses his train, so he sits to wait for the next one. A smartly dressed man approaches him, asking to play a game. Gi-Hun assumes the man wants to recruit him into Christianity, but changes his mind when he sees the man with considerable money. The man proposes to play a game where one flips another card by hitting it. The winner in each round gets 100,000 won. Gi-Hun plays the first round and loses, but the stranger wins. Since Gi-Hun has no money, he agrees to a slap. The two play several more rounds, with Gi-Hun getting slapped a lot. When he makes one turn, he wants to slap the stranger in revenge, but the stranger gives him the money. A while later, Gi-Hun walks home humming a merry tune as he has some money. The stranger had given him a card inviting him to play more games for significant sums of money. Gi-Hun stops by a fish vendor's cart belonging to his childhood friend's mother. The friend Sang-woo works as an investment broker and was in the US for a business trip. Gi-Hun gets home and gives his mother some money. However, he learns that Ga-Yeong's stepdad had secured a better job in the US and would be relocating within the year. To keep his daughter, Gi-Hun must be financially stable. Gi-Hun decides to play the game the man requested. He grabs the business card and calls the number written on the back. The recipient asks for his name and date of birth before giving him instructions on where to go. A masked driver picks up Gi-Hun. In the car, the driver sprays some gas, knocking Gi-Hun and the other passengers out. Gi-Hun finds himself in a large dorm room with several hundreds of people. The players all get up and walk to the center of the room, trying to understand where they are. All the players are wearing strange uniforms, and their personal belongings have been confiscated. It's shown that all the players are being monitored by masked men in another room. Gi-Hun is drawn to an older man who keeps counting the people. He reveals that there are 456 players as displayed on a large screen. Coincidentally, the older man is number 1, while Gi-Hun is 456. The older man says he knows that, but is counting as a health exercise to manage dementia. He has an inoperable brain tumor, hence his reason for playing the game. Suddenly, a fight starts between a ruthless gangster and a young girl. The gangster berates the young girl for abandoning him after she has learned everything from him. Gi-Hun realizes that the girl is the same one who stole his money. He interrupts the fight and demands his money back. The gangster wants to attack Gi-Hun for his rudeness, but the latter calls for help. Suddenly, two doors open, and in walks masked men in red jumpsuits. One of the men welcomes the players to the game. He tells them that the players will participate in 6 games, and those who lose will be eliminated. Most people are skeptical as they don't know where they are and cannot trust the games. The man shows a video of several players citing their large debts as motivation to play the game. Gi-Hun is surprised to learn that Sang-woo is among the players. He has millions of won in debt and is wanted not only by his clients but the police as well. A vast sphere descends in the middle of the room, and the staff claims it will be filled with money after the first game. The players sign waivers with 3 rules. Players cannot voluntarily quit after the games have started. Any player who refuses to play will be eliminated, and the games can be terminated if the majority agrees. The players start the first game by walking through a maze-like hallway into a large field. Elsewhere, the game master in a black suit and mask calls someone and confirms everything is in place for the first game. On the way, they stop by several cameras that take their picture and post them beside their numbers in the game room. The game is called Red Light, Green Light, and the rules are simple. Move when the giant statue says green light and stop when it says red light. They have to cross the field in 5 minutes. Initially, everyone is psyched to play, but soon reality dawns on the players when they realize that being eliminated means getting killed. Chaos ensues as many players try to escape through the gates they came in through but are all killed. The statue is a motion detector. All around the walls are several guns that shoot anyone who moves. The players are reminded of the rules and the game resumes. Gi-Hun nearly falls but is assisted by a foreigner called Ali. He and Ali cross to the other side seconds before the clock times out. All the players left on the field are eliminated. The dead players are cremated, and the camera reveals that the players are on a secluded private island. In the aftermath, 201 players remain of the 456. The players demand to quit the games, but the first rule forbids them. However, Sang-woo remembers the third rule and asks to vote out. The staff agrees but shows them how much money they forfeit should they vote out. Each player is worth 100 million won, so the survivors have 255 million won in the piggy bank and will get more should they continue. If they forfeit, the money will be sent to the deceased families and they will go home with nothing. Following this, many people change their minds, and the vote is balanced between those who want to play on and those who want to quit. Number 1 is the determining vote, and he rules to quit. Soon the players are drugged and dropped off in various parts of the town with their property. Sang-woo helps Ali phone his family and gives him money to take the bus home. Ali visits his boss the next day, demanding payment for the 6 months he had worked for him. The boss refuses to pay despite having a large bundle of money. Ali fights with him, accidentally causing the boss to place his hands in a machine that grinds his fingers. Ali grabs the money and runs away. He gives the money to his wife, asking her and their child to get to Palestine, and he will join them as soon as possible. The gangster is tricked by one of his minions and led to a trap where several creditors want to harvest his organs. He escapes by jumping into a river. The pickpocket meets up with her brother, who is having trouble with the other kids at the children's home he is staying at. She promises to get enough money to bring in their parents from North Korea. However, her transport liaison turns out to be a fraud as it demands more money. Sang-woo discreetly visits his mother's fish cart, ashamed to be such a disappointment. He calls her and she is delighted to hear from him. She gives him her best regards, asking him not to get her anything from the US. Sang-woo locks himself in a room, intending to end his life, but stops when he gets a business card from the game master. However, Sang-woo's mother is visited by the police, who inform her of her son's nefarious activities and that an arrest warrant has been issued for him. Meanwhile, Gi-Hun immediately goes to the police station to report the game. The officers kick him out of the station as they cannot understand why the kidnappers would kill people and let them go when they voted to. Detective Junho's attention is drawn to the business card as his brother had gone missing and a similar card had been found in his apartment. Gi-Hun's mother gets hospitalized due to her diabetes. Gi-Hun has to raise money for her surgery or she might lose both legs. Gi-Hun runs into number 1, who reveals that he plans to join the game since playing made him feel so alive and he has nothing to lose. Gi-Hun begs his friends for money to no avail. Desperate, he seeks out his ex-wife, but she too gets her money from her wealthy husband. The husband offers Gi-Hun money on the condition that he stops seeing his family. Gi-Hun punches the man but leaves in shame after he realizes that his daughter has seen him. On the way home, he is approached by Junho, but he claims he had made it up when he was drunk. Gi-Hun finds another card lodged on his house's door. Seeing his mother's dire condition, Gi-Hun also decides to play. Ali, the pickpocket, the gangster, Sang-woo, number 1, and Gi-Hun are picked up and drugged. The pickpocket covers her face so the gas does not knock her out, while Junho follows the cars to the pickup point. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing recaps. See you in the next video.